Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in this video we are going to be replacing the front radiator support brace, basically the whole front end here on this 2004 Neon SD4. So it was about 155 bucks on 160 bucks on eBay. We got the whole support here, and I don't know if it's SRT4 specific because I was looking at it the other day, and it's got basically a piece of metal that goes right here, right where the charge pipe would be going through. But other than that, whole front thing, it's basically the same. This thing had been in a wreck. It's got a salvage title, and it's pretty beat up in this area. And I was just noticing, looking down here, there's, see if it'll focus there. It's pulled away from the spot welds. And I don't know if this whole front frame rail is pushed over this way or if this has been pushed out, which I don't know if that really makes any sense. And I was also noticing on this side there's a little bit of buckling right here. Don't know if you can see, it's a lot lower. So I don't know, I'll probably kind of straighten stuff out, and I figure when I'm putting the new one on, it'll probably show me what places need to be moved around, adjusted. And I noticed quite a few places on here where there were screws that were broken off. This one's broken off here. This is the fender, and then I just broke this one off. Solid in there, pretty solid in there. Tried using the ratchet, and then it just broke right off. So I don't know. I guess there's some issues on here. Even on this side, it's got one on this side. You can even see here some more spot welds that were kind of popped off. So I guess when I'm taking this one off, I guess I'll kind of see what needs to be messed with. But yeah, first thing, we're going to have to take off the fenders. To do that, we're going to have to take off the side skirts. So I guess I'll jump right into it. So it's been a couple days, and I've actually just been doing a little bit of messing around with this thing. It's actually back down on the ground, back on the wheels, and yeah, I found out this frame rail here, the passenger or driver's side one, is actually about 5/8 of an inch, or about half an inch too low, and an inch too far this way. So I'm not sure, we'd have to put it on a frame machine, because I've basically tried pulling a little bit and it's not really going anywhere. So I think we're honestly just gonna see if we can work around that. I mean, it was working before on this, obviously, but there's some others, rust and stuff on this car that's an issue anyways. So I guess if we have to fix it some other time the right way, I guess we'll do that. But for right now, I think we're gonna see if we can get it all lined up. And one of the first things, I'm gonna see if I can line a bunch of stuff up and put the hood, both the fenders, and the front bumper possibly back on it, just to see if everything will actually like line up. And one of the first things we're gonna need to do, obviously the fender, those basically mount here on either side, and those are new. That's part of the whole support, so that's gonna work. But the bolt holes up here for the fenders are pretty messed up. This one's totally stripped out, and the one over here was fine, but when I was taking the fender off, it just snapped off in there right away. So I ended up actually using some heat when I was taking some of the stuff on the front end off, and it actually worked great. So this, I think what I'm going to have to do here, I think I'm going to drill this one out and then actually just use a nut cert. I'm not sure what they actually call it. It's like threaded, like rivet. Basically these right here. Basically riveted in there, and then it's threaded on the inside. And then this is actually the both hold on the fender. So I think I'm gonna actually drill both of them out and just pop these in here. This car's not perfect, like I said. I think we're just gonna have to put it back together as is, and kind of just work with it. So I'm gonna do that. Get the fenders on. I'm gonna actually have to lift it back up because I can't really get the fenders on with the wheels on here. And then lift it back up a little bit, take the wheels off, and then basically see where we can go from there. Alright guys, so I kind of got the radiator support kind of basically just clamped into place, and then I basically got the fenders, hood, bumper just kind of bolted in place, as well as the headlights. And also, if you're wondering, these tires are just sitting there. They're not mounted up, so it's not going to be that wide. Yeah. So right now, I basically just have clamps on each side down here. Next thing is I'm actually going to take basically bumper, headlights, fenders, hood, all back off. We didn't really get to fix this issue right here. It's still too low and too far into the engine bay, but it's just going to be like that, I guess. It was like that, and I guess it's going to stay like that. It's not too big of an issue. Like I said, there's rust and stuff worse under the car, under some of basically the rocker panels on each side. So I'm going to pull everything back off, and I guess just weld it all in. I'll have to drill some holes, weld it back in, and yeah. Hopefully we don't actually come across any issues farther down the road, and hopefully it'll all go smooth. And after this, basically we're putting on. I think this is all I'm going to put in this video. Just make a real short video. It should be pretty short, just about doing the radiator support here. So next video actually will probably be messing around with the engine. I think I may have already said, but it's basically an 05 PT Cruiser. It's got the same engine we basically have as just for the engine, and we'll pull that out, and then we'll have to obviously swap everything from this engine onto there because it's an automatic and it's got some other stuff and it's missing some stuff, so that'll be later. But right now I guess I'll get the rest of this, and I'm gonna have to figure out another way also to get this thing to sit up here. Still have some issues to work through, so yeah, I guess that's just probably just be a time lapse, kind of show you putting everything back together, and then I'll catch you guys at the end of the video. Alright guys, so I basically got it all welded in. As you can see, this piece is obviously very black, and then I just basically put a little bit of primer on it, and then basically sprayed just some black spray paint around on it. This thing already had some black plastic dip on it, so I don't know if this is really going to be a big issue. And then actually both these places here, I put a little bit on as well, actually primer and stuff, because I had to actually basically weld it in. Not sure if I think I mentioned that earlier already, because those things were stripped out, and then now I was just gonna put nut certs in, but it's actually like a fairly deep hole, and it's not like just like a thin piece of metal that you can just like basically what it crimps against. But had to weld that in. Those are all good now. Everything looks like it's welded in pretty decent, and everything was fitting. So yeah, obviously paint's got to dry, and there's a Camaro or a Mustang back in the background. Anyways, I don't know if you could hear that, but yeah, it's super late at night. I think it's like midnight or something, but finally finished this up so we could actually let this sit here and dry for a bit, and then yeah, next video is going to be stuff with engine, and I think I already mentioned with the last video that yeah, engine blew up, so we've got a second one. But yeah, I think that's going to be all for now. I'm going to wrap it up, and yeah, catch you guys on the next one.